The history books aren't quite open yet, but we're getting closer and closer to the inaugural 200 at Talladega in just a few weeks. In the meantime, we figured it would be a great idea for you folks on YouTube here to get a taste of what may be to come in just under a month, as it is time for recruitment race number 103 for Truck 200, what we're hoping will be our flagship series here on Turn 200. And we couldn't be happier that you've joined us here tonight. It's the boys up here in the booth. It's Tommy Cook. It is the GOAT, Matt Williamson. Are you excited for our first foray here tonight with Truck 200?
Yeah, I mean, we're dipping our toes in the water here a little bit. First recruitment race of the season. We already have quite a few drivers signed up, and we still have a month to go before the season starts. So just hoping to get a few more drivers to kind of fill a good field out, and hoping that some of you watching or some of you that have joined the session will join along. So please join the fun. This is going to be the first season of Truck 200, and we are excited to bring some action to the people.
Yeah, we just got about a minute and a half here. It's sort of a good news, bad news situation. We've got a field of, I think, about 12 drivers now. We've had a few people come in and dip out a little bit early, but that'll happen. The bad news for the rest of the field is that I will be taking to the track as well, and nobody wants that here tonight.
Well, I don't know if you can say nobody, because I am very much looking forward to it.
Okay.
But it'll be great. You know, we've done a lot of super speedway racing in our day, and you're gonna yuck it up with the best of them here. No problem at all. I have no doubts about it.
Everybody's got an opinion about iRacing super speedway. That is for sure. What's your big takeaways from racing here at iRacing super speedway? Do you like it? Do you don't like it? What are some of the challenges?
It really depends on the group that you have, which today we have a group that races together quite often, and then we have about half the field that has never really raced with them at all. So that can be either good or bad, but as long as everybody gives each other some respect on the racetracks, you're going to get mega huge runs here. And as long as you don't really take more than you should, it should be fine. But if you wanna really push the issue, you can ruin somebody's race pretty quickly.
And like you said, some of these guys have raced together before. Some of these guys have not raced together before, and that'll be interesting. And I'll elaborate more on that as the race rolls along here. But I think it's starting grid time for recruitment race number 1, the first unofficial competition for Truck 200. Getting ready to head off here, and I'm going to give the honors to you, Mr. Matt Williamson.
All right, partner. Sounds good. We're going to get the grid rolling up here for everybody for the first recruitment race of Truck 200. Starting on the pole, it's going to be the number 16 of Garrett Rainey. Starting on his outside, it's going to be the number 12 of Jeremy McKinnon. On the second row on the inside, in the number 11 truck, it's going to be Steve Roman. Next to him, Joe Yakes in the 87 qualified for 4th. Going back to the third row, Paul Ellison in the 55 is starting on the inside. On to his outside, it'll be Troy Thomas in the number 88 machine. Starting on the fourth row, Adam Cantwell in the 19. And in the 94, Aaron Brown. Starting in 9th, I can't believe he actually made the race. It is Bad Brad Saxton. Starting in the 23 truck. He's going to have Kyle Zittel on his outside on the 53. And the old commentator boy, Tommy Cook, is going to be starting in what on here it's showing is 999. It's actually going to be 200 on track that you're going to see. He's starting in the 6th row on the inside, and to his outside it will be the 43 of Jonathan Platt.
And I think we've lost everybody else, unfortunately.
We had two more. I think it was Austin Williams and Don Ashton, but I don't think they are still in the session. So it looks like it's going to be a starting grid of 12 drivers here.
Well, what are we going to be keeping our eyes on here other than some crazy racing up front?
I don't know if there's really much more that is going to be going on, because everybody's going to be all together at the same time. Tommy, to be quite honest, I don't even know how you set this session up. How many fast repairs we got tonight?
So in a normal Truck 200 session, it would be 200 miles long, and there would be 0 fast repairs. Tonight it is 100 miles long, and there is 1 fast repair. Right. Set up in the morning, so track temps should be a little bit cooler here. And it's 100% fuel, which is going to get you about 25 to 30 laps, which is not quite 33, so we're going to need a pit stop.
And I'm looking here, and it looks like we have one that hasn't quite loaded into the session yet.
Uh-oh.
And that is going to, unfortunately, be the 23 of Bad Brad Saxton. He is...
Oh, no.
He might have just gotten it a little too late and hasn't loaded into the session quite yet. I'm not sure. But we are going to find out.
Well, we may have to be generous and give him a couple of wave rounds. We'll see if we can find it in our hearts to do that.
With a group of 11, and a lot of them are pretty closely knit, and a lot of them are already signed up for the league, I don't think anybody's going to have a real problem with that. And if they do, well, we're the admins, so.
Oh, boy. It's a little early to be flexing that card. We haven't even taken the green of our first recruitment race yet.
You got to lay the hammer down early, my friend.
All righty, partner. It's all yours.
All righty. This is recruitment race number 1 for Truck 200. The pace car is going to pull off, and our 10-truck field is going to be taking the green here at iRacing Super Speedway. McKinnon and Rainey are going to control the 2 lines for the time being. The 11 of Steve Roman is second on the inside, giving the push to Garrett Rainey in the 16. And you can see here at iRacing Super Speedway, there is a lot of room to meander amongst each other. And I wouldn't be surprised if everybody's going to use every bit of it by the time this night is over. And there's the huge bump. You see Roman gets super loose. There's a huge hump that basically dives you down into turn 3. And it can be pretty wild and pretty squirrely if you're not careful.
It's a very Jesus take the wheel sort of feeling on corner entry, especially if you're on the high line like I am right now. Look how much they move up. Oh, my gosh. Adam Cantwell goes up an entire lane. Luckily, he had room. Maybe that was planned.
And what you're not seeing right now is when these trucks are in the draft with each other, they are going upwards of 220 miles an hour.
Yes. Yeah, I was 226 and had to roll out of it.
Everybody hits the hump.
Corner entry. Yeah.
You can see them all scatter when it happens.
So we mentioned some drivers feeling each other out here. One of them is Joe Yakes, who I believe is the second truck on the outside line. Joe is not just a regular, but I believe a champion as well. Maybe not a champion. He's in the championship for every season with the Goat Locker Truck Series, which is a series that I run with on Thursday nights. There's a lot of good drivers in that league, and he is one of the best of the best. So I'm super pumped that he's going to be in Truck 200, if only for a couple of races. Hopefully we can get him for the full season, but we'll have to see. But he is one driver in this field. Ooh, man, that really is not familiar with anybody else in here. He's not even really familiar with me because he's up at the front in the races that we're in together, and I am not. So.
Well, I'll tell you what, we were talking about it a little bit before the race started, that we have a mix of basically leagues that we have broadcasted or been involved with in the past, and just bringing the best and some of the best characters from those groups and bringing them all together in our flagship series, Truck 200. We have a couple of drivers who aren't here tonight, Dakota DeMade and Gavin Sanders, who are open-wheel drivers, mainly IndyCar, and they race in the Lotus 79 series that we put on, or not that we put on, but we broadcast for the RIL. And I am quite excited to see the two of them mix it up because Gavin Sanders is one of the best open-wheel drivers on the service. There's no doubt about it. And I'm really excited to see what he can do in a stock car.
Yeah, Dakota DeMade is one guy that's helped really push this operation along as well. So I'm excited to see him in a truck on an oval.
As our own Tommy Cook is second on the outside, giving the old push to Joe Yakes right now.
I'm trying. These are, oh man, as you see a little wiggle there on the inside line from McKinnon and Rainey. These trucks are harder to push here than at any other track. They just... it almost feels like they don't line up, but you know that they do. It just must be a speed thing because these trucks are definitely not made to go 227 miles an hour, which is what I'm doing right now, tucked up behind Joe Yakes.
Yeah, I think it's a mix of the speed, but also the banking and just the way that the turns are on the track. And not just that in the turns, but the banking on the straight also is kind of a little bit wonky. So I just think the trucks move around a lot because of the banking, not only in the turns, but also the kind of, it's almost like the banking goes away and then comes back at certain points throughout the straightaway.
And we have lost Paul Ellison due to a packet loss, unfortunately. I was wondering, I thought I saw somebody blinking and then the blinking stopped, so that must have been Paul, unfortunately. Hopefully he can rejoin and we can get him back in the lead lap here. If we ever have a caution, it's knock on wood. It's going pretty clean and green so far on lap 7. Man, I cannot make a corner entry, especially if I'm talking.
I'm sitting here seeing that Brad still hasn't come in. I'm wondering if he thought the session started an hour later than it does.
Yeah, that's very possible.
The inside line, whoa, is prevailing for now. I don't know who that was. It might have been Brown on the inside. I'm going to have to take a look at that truck. That's another thing. We got to get used to some new trucks and some new numbers here.
And there are a few drivers in this field that are new to us as well. We've had quite a few entries of drivers that we've never actually interacted with before. We talked about this being like our own little all-star series, basically. But Adam Cantwell, Aaron Brown, I believe, are the two drivers in the field here tonight. Also, gosh darn it, Troy Thomas, who is up in the top 5 right now. Troy Thomas joined about an hour and a half ago. So we've never gotten to see Troy Thomas on the channel here, or Aaron Brown, or Adam Cantwell, who I think just got shuffled out of line there.
Yeah, that was Cantwell, who I was talking about previously. He's on that HD Motorsports team.
Yes.
And I'm looking at his card right now, and he is from Indianapolis. So we got another Midwestern fella in our midst. And you mentioned Troy Thomas being in the top 5. He's now trying the top side here. He's in the 88 machine, and I believe that is Yakes behind him trying to give him the push.
Yakes wants to go.
The other thing we have going on here is the 4 trucks that are lined up on the inside. Those are all drivers from the Venom Truck Series, so they know each other quite well.
And the Venom Truck Series has raced at iRacing Super Speedway before. Goat Locker trucks have not. So I'm not sure what Joe's experience level here at iRacing Super Speedway is, but he's really been the one that's been trying to get after it this whole time.
Well, it's a fun track to do so as long as you do it within reason.
Yes.
I mean, you can definitely get up and go and just get absolutely massive runs here. Speaking of, not really speaking of anything. How much fuel do we
So fuel window is supposedly 25 to 30 laps. And we're on lap number 10, and I've got 19 laps left. So, yeah, it's going to be about 28, 29 laps before I come down to pit if we stay green. Big if.
It is a big if. I mean, things are looking pretty good right now, but I would be interested to see some green flag pit stops at this place. They get pretty wild.
Yeah, you and I have seen too many green flag pit stops here, unfortunately, and they always seem to end poorly.
Well, I think it's a mix of. I think it's a mix of some drive. Well, yeah, we've had some self-inflicted team incidents in our day, that's for sure. Boy, everybody's getting all squirrely coming out of 2. My goodness. That bottom line got all wiggly, and I don't know if it was the air pushing off the bottom or if Yakes just saw them all moving, and I'm not sure, but everybody coming out of 2 there was a little bit sideways. And
this is the point in the run where it's just hard to hold the bottom. It really is. You thought it was bad on cold tires. It gets worse.
Yeah, you almost, as a bottom line, you almost have to arc into the corner to really make it work good. But you have to have people on the top side that understand that you're going to have to do that. And if you don't and they try squeezing you down there, that's when bad things happen. That's when that bottom line enters down way too low and they drift up the track and absolutely clobber the trucks that are on the top of them. Whoa, Roman almost down onto the apron. That could have been disastrous. They lose a lot of momentum there.
And one guy we have not talked about at all is one of the super speedway aces from the Venom trucks, and that is Kyle Zittel, who's just kind of minding his own right now.
Yeah, he was up there for a while, and now he's kind of sitting back a little bit. I'm not sure. Whoa!
That was close. That was so close.
The 88 of Thomas almost absolutely doinked Yakes into the outside wall. Woo, man.
Oh, buddy. Yeah, I don't think he likes to be on the bottom. He popped in the line and whoa, there we go.
Someone's going sideways.
Oh no.
Tommy Cook is involved.
Oh, I got to figure out how to throw the caution. There we go.
Troy Thomas is involved and Steve Roman is involved as well.
Oh, I got a tow. Gosh, darn it.
And we don't have Brad out here to give Tommy a push, so he's going to have to end up towing.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we're not going to get that green flag pit stop after all.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Alrighty, well, let's go ahead and rack up a replay. That all started with Steve Roman. We're going to take a look. Steve Roman's in the 11, and that's Rainey in front. Zittel, who we had just mentioned, had gotten through into 4th. Zittel just enters a little bit lower than Roman does and comes right across his rear bumper. Puts Roman sideways, and Roman's going to absolutely send Troy Thomas into the wall, and there was nowhere for my counterpart Tommy Cook to go.
No, afraid not, unfortunately.
That's going to bring out the first caution of the race, and hopefully the only until we get maybe towards the very end.
Unfortunately, I'm gonna be a couple of laps down, I think. As are Vroman and Thomas. I think all three of us had to tow.
And here come the green flag pit stops. Jeremy McKinnon's going to lead us in here. I said green flag. Here come our pit stops under caution.
The green flag pit stops under the yellow. Nice when you can swing it.
Looks like Rainey chooses not to get tires. Zittel's not going to go for tires either. I think everybody else behind them maybe does go for tires.
I'm going to do what I did not do the other night and remember to check my fast repair. How about that?
And the 3 that were involved in the accident are still sitting in pit lane. It's Roman, Thomas, and Cook still hanging out here. You can see Roman's getting service. Now Thomas is getting service, and Thomas Cook is now getting service, and they're all going to come out.
Wow.
So this is where we are. After our first caution, we're going to have, I believe we're going to have 17 laps to go when we go green. And your leaders right now, it's Rainey, Zittel, McKinnon, and Yakes are going to be your first 2 lines. Cantwell, Brown are also on the lead lap. And Roman, Thomas, and Cook are all going to be a lap down here.
But somebody, not naming names, may have just waved them around the pace car.
Whoa! A little race control birdie just gave him the wave around.
Big news.
So they're going to come back and rejoin the field on the lead lap.
Yeah, it's going to be tough sledding, I think, to get back around in time. I may... Yeah, no, the other 2 are going. I'll go too. Why not?
Well, with the 3 of you, you can at least hold a draft with each other, I suppose.
Sure, yeah.
And I don't know, you got a whole backstretch, and the turns are quite large around, so I think you're going to have some time here to get all the way around.
I sure hope so. If not, you're going to have to tell me when people are wrecking so I can throw the caution. Because I won't be able to see it or be in it. Oh my.
And if anybody watches this after the race is over who is not in the league, you will still be able to join the Discord with the link in the description. If you'd like to join the Discord, and even if you don't want to join the league and you just want to join our Discord and know what we're up to and join the Turn 200 community, you can join the Discord anyways. We post when we're live and with updates with what's going on with the various leagues and other leagues that we broadcast that we don't actually put on ourselves. If you want to be a part of that, just hit the Discord link that's in the description, and it should take you right to it, as we are going to go green here with 17 to go. Recruitment race number 1, and the 3 that were 2 laps down have gotten back to the field.
Absolutely perfectly timed.
It's going to be Rainey, McKinnon, and Zittel, your top 3. Yakes in the 87 behind them. Whoa, as we're getting real squirrely coming out of there. Cantwell and Yakes. Thought we were going to make some contact. Yakes is going to jump to the outside like he's been doing all night long. He's going to have Roman behind him trying to push on the outside.
And Roman's going to get some help as well.
I don't see it yet, but there is a man that I know that's behind him, and it sounds like he's a-coming.
It's nice having a source on the track, isn't it?
Yeah, literally live with commentary. You don't have to wait for anything.
Just for the record, this isn't the norm. This is the only time I'll be doing this. I just, it's the first one, and my help left me. Yeah, that's all right. I don't think I'm a popular man to work with here tonight.
I'll tell you what, McKinnon is absolutely beating the bumper off of Garrett Rainey right now. This looks like the next-gen cars at Talladega this year.
McKinnon was this season's Daytona winner with the Venom Truck Series. Kyle Zittel was last season's. Garrett Rainey's had quite a few good runs in the Venom Trucks here this season. It looks like an Indy car snaking down the straightaways.
Well, that's what this track will do to you. There's so much room to work. The 94 of Aaron Brown. He drifted up the track. Whoa, and he's drifted again.
Man.
Boy, that truck is real loose on entry and exits right now.
Ooh.
It's now the 88 of Thomas is going to do the wiggle. Boy, I tell you what, you need a lot of trucks to get that outside lane working. Is that
yes,
what the case is here?
Yeah, that's what we're seeing here. And plus, it's just so hard to actually get hooked up and push. I know Joe is probably one of the best at it, and he's having a tough time, not because of anything that Adam is doing, but I just think it's tough to push.
Yeah, I mean, the three of you seemed like you were connected pretty good there for a while, but you just could not make anything work there.
Yeah. Well, we got anybody in the chat? I know we have a few people hanging out with us here tonight.
Nobody in the chat. I know we got some people that are here. Probably some of the people that are racing are watching the broadcast right now as we speak. And if you are, maybe give that top lane a go, huh?
There you go.
And I'm surprised because I feel like a few weeks ago when the official trucks... Ooh. Whoa! That was Cantwell that shot way up the racetrack into one.
And Cantwell's teammate, whose name is escaping me right now, I want to say it's Tyler Thurmond, maybe? He is not here tonight, but HD Motorsports shared our iRacing league page post on their Facebook page earlier, so we appreciate that.
Oh, yes. You have some.
And Adam is definitely itching to get up to the front. That is for sure.
I'll tell you what. I don't remember when the officials were here. I don't remember when that was.
It was only 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, official trucks were here a few weeks ago, and I ran them a little bit. And I do not remember the outside having that much trouble in the trucks getting runs. Maybe the latest update there was some big change or something to the aero. I'm not sure.
There were quite a few changes. Man, Cantwell slides right up in front of Joe. Ooh, Joe! A little bit of contact. Cantwell holds it straight.
I really think on the outside, you're all going to have to work together to get a run on the guys on the bottom and then all go to the top at the same time. Otherwise, I don't think it's going to work.
Us three have lost 0.4 of a second to the rest of the pack trying to get this outside lane to work. We've got 10.5 laps to try and figure it out, though, and I'm willing to keep hammering it out. No pun intended.
Well,
that's if you're wondering what HD Motorsports stands for, it's Hammer Down Motorsports. You can see it on the tailgate of the 19 in front of me. Oh, man, he got Joe all sorts out of shape.
And you all started way at the top and tried to bend it down to the bottom. And Yakes is looking to get the run.
Yeah, we got a little bit of momentum now. 10 to go.
You're going to pull to the outside of the 94 of Brown. Hopefully that'll pull this line back a little bit for you.
Yeah, Cantwell and Yakes are getting it together now.
As finally that outside lane is making a little ground. Yakes is in line with Vroman at the moment. We're going to need a really good entry here. Whoa, Brown on the bottom.
I just got so light into that turn. Joe
and
pulling
Yakes
into line.
Is going to abandon the outside. He's pulling in fourth in line on the inside now.
Well, he may just be getting a little bit of momentum and then popping back out. Yep, that is exactly what he's doing.
Unfortunately,
see if Cantwell gets the memo. I think he does. I really did not get a whole lot out of that, though, unfortunately. Hopefully they did.
It would have worked a little better if there was somebody sucked up to him, but there was just nobody behind him when he pulled out to give him any sort of energy or momentum.
Yeah, well, they're still making it work, but I I lost a bit of time on that one. So I'm going to lay back and stay quiet and maybe re-strategize.
Well, you don't have any fast repairs remaining, so maybe a
Nope,
wise
I sure
decision.
don't. We'll have to see.
As now Cantwell and Yakes are making a run on Vroman.
Oh, Brown just got super loose there. He's clipping the apron.
And that's a huge no-no here at iRacing Super Speedway.
Yeah, it doesn't take much to hit that apron, and then all of a sudden you are tank slapping trying to save the truck.
And now Cantwell has ditched Yakes on the outside. He's going to pull in behind Vroman. And Yakes thought about trying to come down. He wasn't clear. Brown had the spot. Seven to go now, and we're going to start getting interesting here. Now Cantwell's going to try the outside again, but there's nobody with him. Never mind, Yakes is going to go with him.
It's just us three every time for
And
now.
Cook's behind there as well. And just like that, they fall back behind Thomas. I mean, it's unbelievable how little of a run works there.
Oh, man.
Whoa! As we're fanning out through 1 and 2.
You know, I've got $5 on the line tonight. It would be nice to keep that.
Well, I wouldn't blame you, but you have some work to do here, especially against the Venom boys.
Yes. They have stayed hooked together on the bottom, up front all night. Everybody behind them has been absolutely scratching and clawing to get their way up to the front.
And
this is as close as I've been.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's Zittel that tries to make the move to the front before anybody else is a part of that group.
Yes. But Rainey and McKinnon have been up front pretty much this whole race. They've looked pretty rock steady out there.
We're going to go on board with the old in-race reporter, Tommy Cook.
Get a good shot of the None of Your Beeswax apiary back bumper there on the 11 of Steve Roman. The Beekeeper finally got a podium in Venom Truck Series competition last week at Indianapolis, after he's been running up front pretty much all season.
Yeah, it seems like he should have a way better point season going than he does. As Yakes is looking to the outside of Cook here. Cook's going to go with him for now. We'll see if he just gets the run. Now Cantwell's there on his inside.
I can't get the run that quick. I knew when I wanted to get it, but I didn't have enough time.
Coming down the backstretch into 3 when they go through the start-finish area. That's going to be 3 to go this time around.
And Yakes is side drafted Cantwell real tight there on the exit of 4.
And now Vroman's having a peek to the outside. He's going to get left in the middle.
Oh, this is not going to end well, is it?
Cantwell on the bottom, Vroman in the middle, Yakes on top. I can't believe it. They might make it through.
Holy cow.
And Vroman's going to pull back down behind Cantwell. Whoa, Yakes and Cook are pushing hard. Just the two of them on the outside of Cantwell and Vroman right now. And it's just 2 to go. Who's going to make the moves they need to at the end of this race to make it happen? $5 on the line in the Truck 200 recruitment race.
Oh, man. Lost the nose. Lost our run.
Cook drifts high. That's going to leave Yakes out on his lonesome on the outside, but Yakes sticks with it. Cook's there with him again now.
Yeah, Joe doesn't have much of a choice at this point. There's no holes there on the bottom to get into.
Whoa, Cantwell and Vroman get super loose there into 3. It's going to allow Yakes and Cook to pull up on him. And they lost a huge run there. Now Cantwell's looking to go to the outside. Yakes pulls down in front of Cantwell. Boy, they are jockeying for position here on the last lap. And all that jockeying here at iRacing Super Speedway kills runs. Is anybody going to be able to beat Garrett Rainey? He's had McKinnon behind him faithfully. Yakes and Vroman to the outside now. Cantwell with a little bobble. McKinnon's going to go to the top. He has Yakes behind him.
Uh-oh.
Whoa, Zittel gets turned. And I believe it's going to be Garrett Rainey who stuck with it that whole last run. Yakes is actually going to end up second and McKinnon third.
0.09 of a second, the margin of victory for Garrett Rainey. That is his first Turn 200 win. And he is, I guess, technically the first ever winner with Truck 200, but not at an official capacity, more at an exhibition capacity. But a win is a win, and Garrett Rainey has taken my $5.
Garrett Rainey, part of the Alabama gang, is going to take his $5. And he's going to go celebrate. You can see it on the truck, part of the Venom Truck Series. And he will be racing tomorrow night, not on the asphalt, but on the dirt at Bristol.
Love it.
And that's going to be an interesting one. Let's go take a
Garrett,
look.
Yeah, let's take a look at this finish here. Garrett's in a voice channel already, so we've got him right where.
So this is Rainey on the bottom in that blue and white truck, and Cantwell came up the inside of Zittel. That's where Zittel gets turned. And then McKinnon and Vroman and Yakes are all scrambling for a spot on the top side. Rainey's going to be the car that finishes first. Vroman pushes Yakes up into second, and McKinnon's going to come away third. Oh, and Zittel just came back down. I got to go back and take a look at that one.
I thought he was going to clip me. It had to be really, really close.
Go ahead and go on board with Kyle Zittel here in these last couple of turns coming to the finish. He looked like he was in a pretty good spot after McKinnon pulled out. McKinnon drifted up just a little bit. Zittel did a great job of taking that hole. And Zittel just gets absolutely hooked. And he is going to go for a ride here. That's what happens when you're coming to the end of a race at a big track like iRacing Super Speedway. Everybody is fanning out, trying to get every spot that they can.
Well, what do you say, partner? Let's get our race winner in here.
Let's do it.
All righty, we're going to welcome him in now to booth 200 as the race winner. That is Mr. Garrett Rainey. And congratulations on being the first Truck 200 winner, but in an exhibition capacity anyway.
I appreciate that, guys.
So you look pretty comfy out front, but how nerve-wracking is it leading the pack here with a bunch of hungry wolves behind you?
Typically, I would say pretty nerve-wracking, but I had a couple guys that I race with pretty regularly. They're behind me for the most of that run, and I trust those guys. I know they're not going to do anything to put me in harm's way, so that made it a little bit easier. But there's definitely a level of nervousness and stress that comes over you every time you get out front at a super speedway, much less this one.
Matt?
So you mentioned that you had some guys that you raced with pretty much all the time there with you. 5 of you in the race here. You had 4 of you together pretty much all night. Was there any talk of you just getting pushed to the win, or did you know that maybe Zittel or McKinnon was going to try to make a move on you? Was there any talk about that in the chat?
No, not at all. I mean, actually, when I took the white flag, I said I don't mind racing for the lead boys as long as we all finish and don't kill each other. And I hate Zittel got spun there. Felt like my block on him was clean. I hate he ended up finishing where he did because he had a second or third place truck. But it's a fun race, good time. But no, we were all racing for ourselves in that one. Obviously, this being an exhibition, but I mean, also coming over to this new series, I think we're gonna, try to do our own thing over here. So.
Well, we appreciate you coming out here tonight and coming away with the big dub. Who do you want to thank here while we got you on the air?
Well, as you can hear, my house is a madhouse. That's because I've got a wife and 2 children. So I want to thank them first and foremost, obviously, for allowing me the time to do this. But I've actually got some sponsors here on the truck. These are real-life sponsors. I've got Golden Eagle Syrup and Alabama Sunshine Hot Sauce. They're both from my hometown of Fed, Alabama. I want to thank those guys for sure. They've been with me for almost a year now, and I haven't had the results I would have liked in other places, but hopefully we can change that here in this league and get them some airtime and get them some sponsorship out there. So, but no, that's it. I want to thank you guys obviously for putting it on and having us and doing everything you do.
Well, absolutely. You've got $5 coming your way. Don't spend it all in one place. But that seems to be the what happens here on iRacing anyway. But we'll send you $5 anyway. We appreciate you coming out here tonight and for putting on a show as well. And we look forward to more interviews down the line, not just with Truck 200, but with the Venom trucks as well. How do you feel going into Bristol Dirt tomorrow?
If I finish the race, I'll be happy. I'm by no means very good on dirt. I'm a lot more comfortable on asphalt, but I definitely, if I finish, I'll be happy. Which I also, talking to those guys earlier, I feel like if you can cross the start finish line with that track, you're going to have a top 15 or so. So we'll see.
Well, we're looking forward to it. Best of luck tomorrow, and congrats again on the win here tonight. Appreciate the time.
Thank you, guys.
All righty, I'm going to try to get him back up. It's so hard. I wish they made a scrolling feature here on the chat to get him back up to the channel. Well, everybody left anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Anyway, let's go through the full finishing order here. I know there wasn't a whole lot of trucks in here tonight, but I want to give everybody that came out their due, as technically the first ever podium for Truck 200 is going to be Garrett Rainey on top. Silver medal to Joe Yakes here tonight, and an awesome job for him. I enjoyed working with him, trying to get something going there on that outside, and he finally got it to work there, coming down the front straightaway to the checkered flag. So he takes second place here tonight. Jeremy McKinnon rounds out your podium in third, and it's Steve Roman in fourth. Adam Cantwell will finish your top 5 finishers here tonight. Aaron Brown in 6. Tommy Cook in P7. That guy sucks, and he's away with the top 10. It's a travesty. Kyle Zittel in P8 here tonight. Troy Thomas, P9, and did not get to see much of Paul Ellison here tonight, as he had a packet loss that did not allow him to finish. We were very excited that Brad Saxton connected, and I think your theory is correct that he thought this race started an hour later than it actually did. Either that or he just forgot that he registered. So he doesn't start here tonight, and neither do Jonathan Platt, Austin Williams, or Don Ashton. who had registered for the service and then had disconnected. So that's our first little sneak peek, if you will, of Truck 200. And you got a bird's eye view of most of it. You like what you see from a lot of the drivers here?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. You come to a track like iRacing Super Speedway, and, if you got a bunch of drivers that aren't going to give, at least a little bit of room and respect to each other, it's going to be a bloodbath, and it's there's not going to be very many trucks left at the end, but as we saw, we only had that one caution, and plenty of finishing trucks at the end. There was a little incident, but that's going to happen on the last lap coming to the finish line at a track like this. So I'm excited. I think it's going to be awesome, and can't wait to see some of our other drivers that are already registered for the league to come out and show what they got.
Absolutely. Appreciate everybody coming out to hang out with us here tonight. And I know it's probably all regulars here that are watching or have watched this. If you just happen to stumble across this a little bit later on and you're interested in joining Truck 200, it will have more drivers than this. I just think a lot of people are elsewhere for the holidays at the moment, which was, we didn't really put a whole lot of eggs in the basket here tonight, just knowing that it's the holidays, so people are kind of every which way right now. But if you want to be a part of the action here at Truck 200, we had a lot of good drivers here tonight, so that's the promising thing. We've got the Discord link in the description. You can come join the Discord, look for the registration tab, and go ahead and get yourself signed up to rock and roll with us here at Truck 200 for Season 1, which will start on January 16th. We've got 2 more recruitment races in the new year, January 2nd and January 9th. I believe January 2nd is at Homestead. Yep, it is at Homestead. And then January 9th will be at Kentucky. Those will be 100 laps each. And then we will kick off Season 1 with Talladega, the inaugural 200 on January the 16th. Other races this season include Legacy Atlanta, Watkins Glen, Dover, Indianapolis, Iowa, Chicagoland, Gateway, Autodromo Jose Carlos Pace, which is Interlagos. That's the race I'm most looking forward to. We'll see how the drivers feel about it. After Interlagos, the final 3 races of the season will be Daytona, Phoenix, and then Auto Club. 12 rounds for season number 1. We've got a loose schedule together for season number 2. Every driver will have an opportunity to vote on some of the tracks that will be included in that as well. And you get every race broadcasted too. What else do you want for your Monday night trucking? But Matt, anything to close out the night here?
Thanks to those of you that have tuned in, and like Tommy said, if you stumble across this and are not in our Discord already, please join it. You don't have to be a driver or even interested in Truck 200, but if you want to come out and just get some updates on what we're going to be broadcasting and different leagues that we'll be doing broadcasting duty for, come on out. We would love to have you join the community.
Appreciate everybody who has subscribed in the last week or so. We've had Merrick Hill Gaming, which I believe is Aaron Brown. Adam Cantwell subscribed on YouTube, as well as Skinny Paul Music. So appreciate all 3 of them. And up over 130 subscribers now on YouTube, and it's really cool. Appreciate everybody's continued support of Turn 200 and Truck 200. Our next broadcast will be right here tomorrow night. It is time to get down and dirty with the Venom Truck Series at Bristol Dirt Heat Racing and a feature tomorrow night. That is going to be a blast. But until we meet again right here on Turn 200, hopefully tomorrow night, for the greatest stream producer of all time, that is the one and only, don't forget the name, Matt Williamson. I have been Tommy Cook. We say so long from iRacing Super Speedway, where Garrett Rainey stands tall over the drivers of Truck 200.